A QR code, or quick response code, is a type of two-dimensional barcode that stores information in a square grid of black and white squares. It can be scanned by a smartphone camera or a QR code reader app to quickly access the encoded information, such as a website URL, contact details, or other data. QR codes are made up of a matrix of black and white squares arranged in a grid. These squares encode data that can be read by a scanner. They act like a barcode but can store significantly more data, including alphanumeric characters, URLs, and other information. Smartphones and other devices with cameras can scan QR codes using dedicated apps or built-in camera functionality. Applications. QR codes are used in a variety of ways, including marketing and advertising, directing users to websites, promotions, or social media pages. Contactless payments, enabling payments through mobile apps. Ticketing and reservations, storing ticket information for events or travel. Accessing information, providing access to menus, product information, or other digital content. Inventory management, tracking products and assets. A QR code, short for Quick Response Code, is a type of two-dimensional matrix barcode invented in 1994 by Masahiro Hara of the Japanese company Denso Wave for labeling automobile parts. It features black squares on a white background with fiducial markers, readable by imaging devices like cameras, and processed using Reed-Solomon error correction until the image can be appropriately interpreted. The required data is then extracted from patterns that are present in both the horizontal and the vertical components of the QR image. Whereas a barcode is a machine-readable optical image that contains information specific to the labeled item, the QR code contains the data for a locator, an identifier, and web tracking. To store data efficiently, QR codes use 4 standardized modes of encoding: numeric, alphanumeric, byte or binary, and kanji. Compared to standard UPC barcodes, the QR labeling system was applied beyond the automobile industry because of faster reading of the optical image and greater data storage capacity in applications such as product tracking, item identification, time tracking, document management, and general marketing. The QR code system was invented in 1994, at the Denso Wave Automotive Products Company in Japan. The initial alternating square design presented by the team of researchers, headed by Masahiro Hara, was influenced by the black counters and the white counters played on a Go board. The pattern of the position detection markers was determined by finding the least used sequence of alternating black-white areas on printed matter, which was found to be 1:1:3:1:1. The functional purpose of the QR code system was to facilitate keeping track of the types and numbers of automobile parts, by replacing individually scanned barcode labels on each box of auto parts with a single label that contained the data of each label. The quadrangular configuration of the QR code system consolidated the data of the various barcode labels with kanji, kana, and alphanumeric codes printed onto a single label. During June 2011, 14 million American mobile users scanned a QR code or a barcode. Some 58% of those users scanned a QR or barcode from their homes, while 39% scanned from retail stores. 53% of the 14 million users were men between the ages of 18 and 34. In 2022, 89 million people in the United States scanned a QR code using their mobile devices, up by 26% compared to 2020. The majority of QR code users used them to make payments or to access product and menu information. In September 2020, a survey found that 18.8% of consumers in the United States and the United Kingdom strongly agreed that they had noticed an increase in QR code use since the then active COVID-19 related restrictions had begun several months prior. As of 2024, QR codes are used in a much broader context, including both commercial tracking applications and convenience-oriented applications aimed at mobile phone users, termed mobile tagging. QR codes may be used to display text to the user, to open a web page on the user's device, to add a vCard contact to the user's device, to open a Uniform Resource Identifier, URI, to connect to a wireless network, or to compose an email or text message. There are a great many QR code generators available as software or as online tools that are either free or require a paid subscription. The QR code has become one of the most used types of two-dimensional code. Standards. Several standards cover the encoding of data as QR codes. October 1997, AIM, Association for Automatic Identification and Mobility, International. January 1999, JISX 0510. June 2000, ISO/IEC 18004:2000 Information Technology, Automatic Identification and Data Capture Techniques, Barcode Symbology, QR Code, now withdrawn. Defines QR code models 1 and 2 symbols. September 1, 2006, ISO/IEC 18004:2006 Information Technology, Automatic Identification and Data Capture Techniques, QR Code 2005 Barcode Symbology Specification, now withdrawn. Defines QR Code 2005 symbols, an extension of QR Code Model 2. Does not specify how to read QR Code Model 1 symbols, or require this for compliance. February 1, 2015, ISO/IEC 18004:2015 Information, Automatic Identification and Data Capture Techniques, QR Code Barcode Symbology Specification, now withdrawn. Renames the QR Code 2005 symbol to QR Code and adds clarification to some procedures and minor corrections. It was withdrawn and updated to 18004:2024 in August 2024, which optimizes encoding efficiency, improves error correction, and refines structured append functionality. May 2022, ISO/IEC 23941:2022 Information Technology, Automatic Identification and Data Capture Techniques, Rectangular Micro QR Code, RMQR, Barcode Symbology Specification. Defines the requirements for Micro QR Code. August 2024, ISO/IEC 18004:2024 Information Technology Automatic Identification and Data Capture Techniques QR Code Barcode Symbology Specification. At the application layer, there is some variation between most of the implementations. Japan's NTT Docomo has established de facto standards for the encoding of URLs, contact information, and several other data types. The open-source ZScene project maintains a list of QR code data types. Uses. QR codes have become common in consumer advertising. Typically, a smartphone is used as a QR code scanner, displaying the code and converting it to some useful form, such as a standard URL for a website, thereby obviating the need for a user to type it into a web browser. QR codes have become a focus of advertising strategy to provide a way to access a brand's website more quickly than by manually entering a URL. Beyond mere convenience to the consumer, the importance of this capability is the belief that it increases the conversion rate, the chance that contact with the advertisement will convert to a sale. It coaxes interested prospects further down the conversion funnel with little delay or effort, bringing the viewer to the advertiser's website immediately, whereas a longer and more targeted sales pitch may lose the viewer's interest. Although initially used to track parts in vehicle manufacturing, QR codes are used over a much wider range of applications. These include commercial tracking, warehouse stock control, entertainment and transport ticketing, product and loyalty marketing, and in-store product labeling. Examples of marketing include where a company's discounted and % discount can be captured using a QR code decoder that is a mobile app, or storing a company's information such as address and related information alongside its alphanumeric text data as can be seen in telephone directory yellow pages. Demo of printing a QR code. They can also be used to store personal information for organizations. An example of this is the Philippines National Bureau of Investigation, NBI, where NBI clearances now come with a QR code. Many of these applications target mobile phone users, via mobile tagging. Users may receive text, add a vCard contact to their device, open a URL, or compose an email or text message after scanning QR codes. They can generate and print their own QR codes for others to scan and use by visiting one of several pay or free QR code generating sites or apps. Google had an API, now deprecated, to generate QR codes, and apps for scanning QR codes can be found on nearly all smartphone devices. QR codes storing addresses and URLs may appear in magazines, on signs, on buses, on business cards, or on almost any object about which users might want information. Users with a camera phone equipped with the correct reader application can scan the image of the QR code to display text and contact information, connect to a wireless network, or open a web page in the phone's browser. This act of linking from physical world objects is termed hard linking or object hyperlinking. QR codes also may be linked to a location to track where a code has been scanned. Either the application that scans the QR code retrieves the geo information by using GPS and cell tower triangulation, AGPS, or the URL encoded in the QR code itself is associated with a location. In 2008, a Japanese stonemason announced plans to engrave QR codes on gravestones, allowing visitors to view information about the deceased, and family members to keep track of visits. Psychologist Richard Wiseman was one of the first authors to include QR codes in a book, In Paranormality, Why We See What Isn't There, 2011. Microsoft Office and LibreOffice have a functionality to insert QR code into documents. QR codes have been incorporated into currency. In June 2011, the Royal Dutch Mint, Koninklijke Nederlandse Munt, issued the world's first official coin with a QR code to celebrate the centenary of its current building and premises. The coin can be scanned by a smartphone and originally linked to a special website with content about the historical event and design of the coin. In 2014, the Central Bank of Nigeria issued a 100 naira banknote to commemorate its centennial, the first banknote to incorporate a QR code in its design. When scanned with an internet-enabled mobile device, the code goes to a website that tells the centenary story of Nigeria. In 2015, the Central Bank of the Russian Federation issued a 100 rubles note to commemorate the annexation of Crimea by the Russian Federation. It contains a QR code into its design, and when scanned with an internet-enabled mobile device, the code goes to a website that details the historical and technical background of the commemorative note. In 2017, the Bank of Ghana issued a 5 cedis banknote to commemorate 60 years of central banking in Ghana. It contains a QR code in its design which, when scanned with an internet-enabled mobile device, goes to the official Bank of Ghana website. Credit card functionality is under development. In September 2016, the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, launched the eponymously named Bharat QR, a common QR code jointly developed by all the 4 major card payment companies, National Payments Corporation of India that runs RuPay cards along with MasterCard, Visa, and American Express. It will also have the capability of accepting payments on the Unified Payments Interface, UPI, platform. Augmented reality. QR codes are used in some augmented reality systems to determine the positions of objects in 3-dimensional space. Mobile operating systems. QR codes can be used on various mobile device operating systems. While initially requiring the installation and use of third-party apps, both Android and iOS, since iOS 11, devices can now natively scan QR codes, without requiring an external app to be used. The camera app can scan and display the kind of QR code along with the link. These devices support URL redirection, which allows QR codes to send metadata to existing applications on the device. Virtual stores. QR codes have been used to establish virtual stores, where a gallery of product information and QR codes is presented to the customer, e.g. on a train station wall. The customers scan the QR codes, and the products are delivered to their homes. This use started in South Korea and Argentina, but is currently expanding globally. Walmart, Procter & Gamble and Woolworths have already adopted the virtual store concept. QR code payment. Main article, QR code payment. QR codes can be used to store bank account information or credit card information, or they can be specifically designed to work with particular payment provider applications. There are several trial applications of QR code payments across the world. In developing countries including China, India, QR code payment is a very popular and convenient method of making payments. Since Alipay designed a QR code payment method in 2011, mobile payment has been quickly adopted in China. As of 2018, around 83% of all payments were made via mobile payment. In November 2012, QR code payments were deployed on a larger scale in the Czech Republic when an open format for payment information exchange, a short payment descriptor, was introduced and endorsed by the Czech Banking Association as the official local solution for QR payments. In 2013, the European Payment Council provided guidelines for the EPC QR code enabling SCT initiation within the Eurozone. In 2017, Singapore created a task force including government agencies such as the Monetary Authority of Singapore and Infocom Media Development Authority to spearhead a system for e-payments using standardized QR code specifications. These specific dimensions are specialized for Singapore. The e-payment system, Singapore Quick Response Code, SGQR, essentially merges various QR codes into one label that can be used by both parties in the payment system. This allows for various banking apps to facilitate payments between multiple customers and a merchant that displays a single QR code. The SGQR scheme is co-owned by MOS and IMDA. A single SGQR label contains e-payments and combines multiple payment options. People making purchases can scan the code and see which payment options the merchant accepts. Website login. QR codes can be used to log into websites. A QR code is shown on the login page on a computer screen, and when a registered user scans it with a verified smartphone, they will automatically be logged in. Authentication is performed by the smartphone, which contacts the server. Google deployed such a login scheme in 2012. Mobile ticket. There is a system whereby a QR code can be displayed on a device such as a smartphone and used as an admission ticket. Its use is common for J1 League and Nippon Professional Baseball tickets in Japan. In some cases, rights can be transferred via the internet. In Latvia, QR codes can be scanned in Riga public transport to validate Riga Satiksme tickets. Restaurant ordering. Restaurants can present a QR code near the front door or at the table, allowing guests to view an online menu, or even redirect them to an online ordering website or app, allowing them to order or possibly pay for their meal without having to use a cashier or waiter. QR codes can also link to daily or weekly specials that are not printed on the standardized menus and enable the establishment to update the entire menu without needing to print copies. At table-served restaurants, QR codes enable guests to order and pay for their meals without a waiter involved. The QR code contains the table number so servers know where to bring the food. This application has grown especially since the need for social distancing during the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic prompted reduced contact between service staff and customers. Joining a Wi-Fi network. By specifying the SSID, encryption type, password/passphrase, and if the SSID is hidden or not, mobile device users can quickly scan and join networks without having to manually enter the data. A MeCard-like format is supported by Android and iOS 11 Plus. A QR code can link to an obituary and can be placed on a headstone. In 2008, Ishinoko in Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan began to sell tombstones with QR codes produced by IT Design, where the code leads to a virtual grave site of the deceased. Other companies, such as Wisconsin-based Interactive Headstones, have also begun implementing QR codes into tombstones. In 2014, the Jewish cemetery of La Paz in Uruguay began implementing QR codes for tombstones. Electronic authentication. QR codes can be used to generate time-based one-time passwords for electronic authentication. Loyalty programs. QR codes have been used by various retail outlets that have loyalty programs. Sometimes these programs are accessed with an app that is loaded onto a phone and includes a process triggered by a QR code scan. The QR codes for loyalty programs tend to be found printed on the receipt for a purchase or on the products themselves. Users in these schemes collect award points by scanning a code. Counterfeit detection. Serialized QR codes have been used by brands and governments to let consumers, retailers, and distributors verify the authenticity of the products and help with detecting counterfeit products, as part of a brand protection program. However, the security level of a regular QR code is limited since QR codes printed on original products are easily reproduced on fake products, even though the analysis of data generated as a result of QR code scanning can be used to detect counterfeiting and illicit activity. A higher security level can be attained by embedding a digital watermark or copy detection pattern into the image of the QR code. This makes the QR code more secure against counterfeiting attempts. Products that display a code which is counterfeit, although valid as a QR code, can be detected by scanning the secure QR code with the appropriate app. The treaty regulating apostilles, documents bearing a seal of authenticity, has been updated to allow the issuance of digital apostilles by countries. A digital apostille is a PDF document with a cryptographic signature containing a QR code for a canonical URL of the original document, allowing users to verify the apostille from a printed version of the document. Product tracing. Different studies have been conducted to assess the effectiveness of QR codes as a means of conveying labeling information and their use as part of a food traceability system. In a field experiment, it was found that when provided free access to a smartphone with a QR code scanning app, 52.6% of participants would use it to access labeling information. A study made in South Korea showed that consumers appreciate QR code used in food traceability system, as they provide detailed information about food, as well as information that helps them in their purchasing decision. If QR codes are serialized, consumers can access a web page showing the supply chain for each ingredient, as well as information specific to each related batch, including meat processors and manufacturers, which helps address the concerns they have about the origin of their food. After the COVID-19 pandemic began spreading, QR codes began to be used as a touchless system to display information, show menus, or provide updated consumer information, especially in the hospitality industry. Restaurants replaced paper or laminated plastic menus with QR code decals on the table, which opened an online version of the menu. This prevented the need to dispose of single-use paper menus, or institute cleaning and sanitizing procedures for permanent menus after each use. Local television stations have also begun to utilize codes on local newscasts to allow viewers quicker access to stories or information involving the pandemic, including testing and immunization scheduling websites, or for links within stories mentioned in the newscasts overall. In Australia, patrons were required to scan QR codes at shops, clubs, supermarkets, and other service and retail establishments on entry to assist contact tracing. Singapore, Taiwan, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand used similar systems. QR codes are also present on COVID-19 vaccination certificates in places such as Canada and the EU Digital COVID Certificate, where they can be scanned to verify the information on the certificate. Design. Unlike the older, one-dimensional barcodes that were designed to be mechanically scanned by a narrow beam of light, a QR code is detected by a two-dimensional digital image sensor and then digitally analyzed by a programmed processor. The processor locates the three finder patterns, each consisting of three superimposed concentric squares of differing contrast at the upper left, upper right and lower left corners of the QR code image, using a smaller square, or multiple squares, near the fourth corner to normalize the image for size, orientation, and angle of viewing. The small dots throughout the QR code are then converted to binary numbers and validated with an error-correcting algorithm. The use of QR code technology is freely licensed as long as users follow the standards for QR code documented with JIS or ISO/IEC. Non-standardized codes may require special licensing. Denso Wave owns a number of patents on QR code technology, but has chosen to exercise them in a limited fashion. In order to promote widespread usage of the technology, Denso Wave chose to waive its rights to a key patent in its possession for standardized codes only. In the US, the granted QR code patent, 572-6435, expired on March 14, 2015. In Japan, the corresponding patent, 293-8338, expired on March 14, 2014. The European Patent Office granted patent 067-2994 to Denso Wave, which was then validated into French, UK, and German patents, all of which expired in March 2015. The text QR code itself is a registered trademark and wordmark of Denso Wave Incorporated. In UK, the trademark is registered as E921775, the term QR code, with a filing date of September 3, 1998. The UK version of the trademark is based on the Kabushiki Kaisha Denso Corporation, trademark, filed as trademark 000921775, the term QR code, on September 3, 1998 and registered on December 16, 1999 with the European Union OHIM, Office for Harmonization in the Internal Market. The U.S. trademark for the term QR code is trademark 2435991 and was filed on September 29, 1998 with an amended registration date of March 13, 2001, assigned to Denso Corporation. In South Korea, trademark application filed on November 18, 2011 was refused at March 20, 2012, because the Korean Intellectual Property Office viewed that the phrase was genericized among South Korean people to refer to matrix barcodes in general. Risks. The only context in which common QR codes can carry executable data is the URL data type. These URLs may host JavaScript code, which can be used to exploit vulnerabilities in applications on the host system, such as the reader, the web browser, or the image viewer, since a reader will typically send the data to the application associated with the data type used by the QR code. In the case of no software exploits, malicious QR codes combined with a permissive reader can still put a computer's contents and users' privacy at risk. This practice is known as ASCII, a portmanteau of attack tagging. They are easily created and can be affixed over legitimate QR codes. On a smartphone, the reader's permissions may allow use of the camera, full internet access, read/write contact data, GPS, read browser history, read/write local storage, and global system changes. Risks include linking to dangerous websites with browser exploits, enabling the microphones/cameras/GPS, and then streaming those feeds to a remote server, analysis of sensitive data, passwords, files, contacts, transactions, and sending email/SMS/IM messages or packets for DDoS as part of a botnet, corrupting privacy settings, stealing identity, and even containing malicious logic themselves such as JavaScript or a virus. These actions could occur in the background while the user is only seeing the reader opening a seemingly harmless web page. In Russia, a malicious QR code caused phones that scanned it to send premium texts at a fee of $6 each. QR codes have also been linked to scams in which stickers are placed on parking meters and other devices, posing as quick payment options, as seen in Austin, San Antonio, and Boston, among other cities across the United States and Australia. A QR code is an easy way to send customers to a digital destination. They provide the quickest digital route from point A to B. For example, a restaurant's QR code posted at a bus stop can instantly bring current and potential patrons to the restaurant's latest specials and promotions page. It's faster than typing in a web address, performing an online search, or navigating through multiple pages to find today's deals. There are various ways QR codes can be used now, as you will see in the succeeding sections. In the future, QR code applications will likely expand, and QR codes may play an integral role in automated systems that require robots to access dynamic instructions. Benefits of QR codes. QR codes come with a variety of benefits, such as they provide instant access to vital information. It is easy to post them anywhere in public, on a shop floor, a website, or in promotional material. Most smartphones have inbuilt QR code scanning features. They can store way more characters than a barcode. They are highly customizable. You can add your logo and customize the colors. Some QR code generators provide the ability to track scan activity and even the GPS location of those scans. They are quick and easy to set up, no need for handheld scanners. Thank you for watching this video.